Late at night, a man walks into a small diner. His name is Charlie. He orders a coffee and a steak, then steps out for a smoke and kills the waitress, Anna, in the parking lot behind the restaurant. Suddenly, he finds himself back at the diner's entrance. Time has rewound. Confused, Charlie kills Anna again with the same result. No matter what he does, killing others, killing himself, trying to escape, the night restarts over and over like a broken record. The concept of repeating the same period of time in film isn't new. It appeared in episodes of the cult sci-fi series The Twilight Zone, and in the 80s, Japan produced The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. However, 1993 is widely considered the starting point for this trend, when two films centered on time loops were released. The TV thriller 1201 by Jack Shoulder, and, of course, Groundhog Day, whose title has since become a household name. Applying the time loop to the horror genre has been attempted before. The Happy Death Day duology is a well-known example. But Kill Me Again surprises by focusing not on the victim, but on the hunter, or more precisely, a maniac who compares himself to a shark placed in an aquarium with guppies. Why is this surprising? Because it's a well-known rule that the protagonist should be relatable. The audience should empathize with them and root for their victory. But who would want to identify with a ruthless killer? The film's director and screenwriter Keith Jardine is a professional actor and stuntman by trade. Here, he plays one of the diner's patrons. You might have seen him in bit parts in various action movies like Crank High Voltage, Gamer, John Wick, and Logan. Kill Me Again is his feature-length directorial debut, and it's a surprisingly mature one. He tackles the anti-hero problem with a range of techniques, from black humor that lightens the mood to spot-on casting. Brendan Fehr in the lead role is incredibly charismatic. Moreover, this role can rightfully be considered his breakout. An actor who's been stuck on the cusp of the big leagues for a quarter century now convincingly proves he's ready for major complex parts. That said, film is always about an idea, a thought, and throughout the entire runtime, you're guessing how Jardine will resolve this morally ambiguous conflict. Which path will he choose? That love can save even the most lost souls? That it's never too late to repent and start over? Or that a wolf can't be tamed? The ending he chooses is unexpected and controversial because it shifts the story into a completely different genre, but it's acceptable and perhaps the lesser evil in this situation. After all, Jardine has made a film that, on one hand, avoids the most obvious cliched solutions, and on the other, provides a genuinely great way to spend 100 minutes of your life. Kill Me Again is stylishly and vibrantly shot, performed with great charisma, cleverly written, and at times very funny. Especially in the bit where Charlie decides his purpose is to make the stern Russian cook prepare him an omelet, even though it's a breakfast menu item. What's interesting is that, from a structural standpoint, this part of the film could easily be cut. But this is one of those cases where you'd grab a knife yourself to defend this material. Charlie is perhaps the most charming killer in cinema history, and you just want to spend as much time in his company as possible.